Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. I just put out a video on the death of Dennis Green. Within moments of putting that out, somebody commented, "Hey, did you know that the new Vikings stadium opened the day after his death?" And I was not aware of that. Right away, I see the parallel between the death of Dennis Green and the opening of this new stadium. This is further evidence that Dennis Green is a ritual sacrifice for the upcoming Vikings season and them hosting Super Bowl 52 in their new stadium. That's not the Super Bowl that'll be played at the end of this season, but the season after, in the beginning of the year 2018. So I want to show you these very strong parallels between the death of Dennis Green, the opening of the new stadium, and what lies ahead for the Vikings season. This is definitive proof of what is truly going on in the world of professional sports, something I've been exposing since 2013. I really hope this video reaches NFL fans so that they can see why they need to stop investing their money in this league and in professional sports. They are paying for rigged outcomes, and our leagues run by people who truly murder and sacrifice the same people they once employed, such as Dennis Green and many others that I've covered up to this point. So Dennis Green, remembered for coaching the Minnesota Vikings as well as the Arizona Cardinals. Most of his career was in Minnesota. He's dead at age 67, which reminds me right away of the death of Prince, a death I predicted in February after Vanity died. You can go back and watch my video from February, the death of Vanity. In that video, I say why Prince better look out. When Prince died, I put out a video showing how his death was connected to the NBA Finals and the upcoming Super Bowl. And we'll talk more about that. We're going to end this video with a clip of Prince summing up what this video is all about. This video will amount to Prince's 30-second quote, which we'll hit at the end. So in Gematria, blood sacrifice equals 67, Freemasonry equals 67. Prince died this year 67 days after Vanity, a span of 67 days from February 15th when Vanity died to April 21st when Prince died. Prince's birthday is also June 7th, a date which can be written 6/7. The word revelation also has gematria of 67. That's the book of prophecy. We'll be talking about revelation. Remember how revelation sums to 67 as well. So in my last video, I wasn't sure if Dennis Green died July 21st or July 22nd because different sources were reporting different things. It seems that everyone has gone to July 21st now, and July 21st makes a lot of sense. We're going to talk about why. Notice that Dennis Green was born February 17th and died July 21st. That's 2/17, dead 7/21, 721, 217. It's a reshuffling of the same numbers. That's interesting right away. What's also interesting is that from his birthday to the date he died, at age 67, is 155 days, and he died the eve before the opening of the new stadium, U.S. Bank Stadium, gematria of 155. 155 days, 155 gematria. 155 is not an arbitrary number. It's a number with 11 numerology. 1 plus 5 plus 5 is 11. 11 is the master number in numerology. 1 represents God, the infinite, the all-powerful. When you magnify the digit, like 11, 2 ones, you magnify the power. Think about magnifying the power of God. That's what 11 represents in numerology. The words science and Christianity both have gematria of 155. And if you're new to my channel, see the videos I've done on the Masonic editing of spirituality and science. So many important concepts in religion, mainstream science have direct parallels in the language of gematria. Big Bang equals 33. Genesis equals 33. Genesis is the biblical explanation of the creation of the earth. Big Bang, the scientific explanation. 33, the number of Freemason obsession. Also interesting, U.S. Bank Stadium, gematria of 38. Just like death, just like Prince, just like Chanhassen, where Prince died, just like Minnesota. The date the stadium opened, July 22nd, 2016, was a date with a life lesson number of 38, connecting to the gematria of the stadium and the state of Minnesota where it is. 38 connects to death. 44 connects to kill. The date Denny Green died, July 21st, 2016, a date with 44 numerology. And this year's upcoming Super Bowl, Super Bowl 51, will be on a date with 44 numerology as well. Here's the numerology for the life lesson number of the date the stadium opened, July 22nd. Notice they broke ground December 3rd, 12/3. Conspiracy equals 123. This is a date with a numerology of 48. And what's interesting is they're hosting Super Bowl 52, which is the 48th Super Bowl of the modern era. It will come 41 years after they last appeared in a Super Bowl, the year 77. Prince died on a date with 41 numerology. Prince performed in the Super Bowl 41 halftime show against the Colts and Bears, Chicago Bears. This stadium is on 401 Chicago Street. 401, a lot like 41. Chicago, the birthplace of the NFL. So interesting connections in the stadium. I should have ran what the distance and dates was. That might also be interesting, something to look at. This date of July 22nd, though, it's an important date. If you divide the number 22 by 7, 22/7, 22nd day of the 7th month, 22 divided by 7 gives you the number for pi, 3.14, which you learned about for cycles, circles, geometry class. If you write out 22 divided by 7 in gematria, it sums to 314, just like 3.14, the number for pi. And what's interesting about pi is if you sum the first 144 decimal points, starting with 0.14, 1 plus 4, add the first 144 decimal points, it sums to the number 666. Look at this. If you add the first 144 decimal points, time in Jewish gematria sums to 144. The phrase mark of the beast has gematria of 144, and that's often a reference to the number 666. It's called the mark of the beast. What's interesting about time and mark of the beast and their connections to 666 is that beast has gematria of 47 and time has gematria of 47 in simple English. And you look at all this coding, time, prophecy, mark of the beast, interrelated numbers. I think this is what it's all a tribute to. The way this world truly operates, we're all of our lives are based on time and this cycle. We have to live within it, And I've read before that language, mathematics, it's just a way of expressing the way this world works. So to find out these numbers that have these relationships are all coded within the language, it's very interesting. And if you look at the tilt of the Earth, which impacts the way time is on this planet, supposedly the tilt 66.6 degree angle left. A lot like 666. So anyway, Denny Green, he died on a date with 44 numerology. Clock, having to do with time, has gematria 44. 44, when written out, sums to 144. Mark of the beast, 144. Time, there's 1,440 minutes in a day. 1440. The square root of 144 is 12. 12 months in a year. 12 hours in the morning. 12 in the evening. Anyhow, when you add the first 144 decimal points of pi, it sums to 666. This number connects to Denny Green, what Dennis Green was often called during his time in the NFL. Denny Green. In Pythagorean gematria, Denny Green equals 57, just like the age Prince died at. Remember, when you write out 57, it sums to the same thing as championship, the same thing as Super Bowl. Prince and Vanity both dead at age 57. Anyhow, remember that Denny Green equals 666 and prophecy equals 666. The word prophecy also has gematria 52. The Vikings will be hosting Super Bowl 52. And the start of their season comes 52 days after the death of Denny Green in Tennessee. And Tennessee has gematria 52. Look at this. The opener for the Vikings, September 11th, against the Tennessee Titans. This is from their schedule right here. Let me just show this to you real quick so you can see that it is the Titans. Titans opening the season September 11th against the Vikings. Prophecy has gematria 52 from the date he died, Denny Green, until September 11th. The opener is 52 days. Prophecy equals 52 and 106. Tennessee in gematria sums to 34, 52, and 106. With the S exceptions, you add +9 for each S. Tennessee is also 52. Ramadan equals 52. Last year there was a shooting hoax in the media on the last day of Ramadan in Tennessee. The same way sports are scripted is the same way news is scripted, because it is the same Masonic Zionists doing it all, mocking the masses. The span of 1 month and 21 days is also interesting, because Revelation, which sums to 121, is the book of prophecy. We're following this prophecy code. The first Super Bowl was at the end of the 66th season. Revelation, the 66th book of most Bibles. Revelation, the small way, also sums to 49, as well as 67 and 121. The name green sums to 49. The only state flag of the 50 states in the United States that is green is Washington State. Washington, the first recognized president, what the capital's named after. The team from Washington lost in Super Bowl 49 to the Patriots. That was the 45th Super Bowl of the modern era. New England equals 45. But anyway, all of these numbers are significant. This nation was established from the book of Revelation. The original capital, Philadelphia, is named from the book of Revelation. We're talking about Dennis Green, dead at age 67. And what's interesting is this year, December 18th, is the day that will come 49 days before the Super Bowl, which will be on February 5th, a date written 5/2. From their game against the Colts to the Super Bowl is 49 days. And that is in week 15, the reflection of 51. It's Super Bowl 51 this year. Houston Texans are hosting. Houston Texans equal 51. So does Conspiracy. The first game for the Vikings is against the Tennessee Titans, which are the team that moved from Houston. They used to be the Houston Oilers. Andrew Luck's father played his whole career for the Houston Oilers. Andrew Luck, now the quarterback of the Colts. Andrew Luck was born in '89, the year Denny Green was hired as the head coach of Stanford, where Luck played his college ball at. Played his high school football in Houston. But Super Bowl 51 coming up. Again on 5/2. It's in Houston, which has gematria of 112, just like horseshoe, the symbol of the Colts. Andrew Luck equals 112, who played in Houston growing up. The name Luck alone sums to 47. The name Oliver Luck in Pythagorean gematria sums to 47. Super Bowl 51 will be the 47th Super Bowl of the modern era. Baltimore won Super Bowl 47. The Colts originally from Baltimore. They defeated the 49ers. Little prophecy foreshadowing. Denny Green started his coaching career with the 49ers as an assistant before going to Stanford. Anyhow, for the Vikings, Bridgewater equals 112, so does Peterson. Peterson's from Houston. And this year when Prince died, he died April 21st. It was a leap year. He died on the 112th day of the year. Leap year equals 83, just like football, too. Possibly part of the coding. With regards to 112, it's the alt dialing code for 911. If you dial 112 on your phone, you'll be connected to 911 in almost every single state. The season begins for the Vikings on 9/11, September 11th. 112, the alt dialing code for 911. Think about the phrase, Houston, do we have a problem? You know, from the movie about NASA and space. In the movie Oblivion, it's hinted that Super Bowl 51 is the last Super Bowl. If that's true, that means the Super Bowl would never make it to Minnesota. We'll see about all that. I would bet on there being a Super Bowl 52. But anyway, that movie does talk about Super Bowl 51. It's called Oblivion. Oblivion has gematria of 44, just like space. The movie has to do with space. And again, this year's Super Bowl on a date with 44 numerology. Denny Green dying on a date with 44 numerology not long before the season begins. And then, he aligns with prophecy, all this prophecy coding. Prince said all we can live by in this world is prophecy, Revelation, the book of prophecy. Let's close out with Prince right here.
When I found out there were 8 presidents before George Washington, I wanted to smack somebody. I wanted to know why I was taught otherwise. Just tell me the whole story. I'll fill in the blanks, but don't Don't tell me something that you think I'm supposed to know.
We're indentured servants and we got a black president now?
Well, I don't vote. I have nothing to do with it. I got no dog in that race.
And for those who would cuss me out and slap me in person if I didn't ask you why?
Well, the reason why is because I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and we've never voted. And that's not to say that I don't think Barack Obama, President Obama, is a very smart individual, and he seems like he means well. Prophecy is what we all have to go by now.
Prophecy is what we all have to go by now, and I'll show you a little something. The day Prince died, ESPN was going crazy with how Prince attended the March 3rd game between the Warriors and the Thunder, what became the Western Conference Finals. I want to show you this. Box score, March 3rd, 2016, Thunder Warriors. The score was 106 to 121. The Warriors won. The game was in Golden State at Oracle Arena, which is exactly 106 feet tall. The Golden State Warriors are originally from Philadelphia, the city named from the book of Revelation, the book of prophecy. Check this out. Show you something with the Warriors, Philadelphia, and prophecy. Warriors equals 121 the big way, and the small way 49. And Revelation, again, the small way is 49, and the big way 121. The Warriors are originally from Philadelphia. Again, prophecy sums to 106, the big way. The Warriors won 121 to 106, a sum of 227 points. 121 plus 106, 227. And 227 is a lot like July 22nd, the date the Staidum just opened, which is also the 49th prime number. 49th prime number. Revelation, book of prophecy. Prince said all we can go by is prophecy. Now check this out. From the date Prince attended that game, March 3rd, 2016, don't overlook the 3-3, like 33. 33, a number of sacrifice. He would die April 21st, 49 days later. Prince died 49 days after attending that game, which finished 106 to 121. The 49th prime number when you add the scores together. The 1 month and 18 days is also interesting because death in Jewish gematria equals 118. And if you go back to my video from February where I predict Prince's death, I talk about how he's connected to that number as well as vanity. Vanity equals 46, like sacrifice. She died on the 46th day of the year. In the longer video I put out about the death of Dennis Green, I showed how he was also connected to 46 with his death. So I'll link that video, the longer version. Please, people, help spread these videos. These tyrants who run these leagues and who murder people need to be imprisoned, taken from power, and this madness needs to stop. Until next time.